Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into the high-octane, absolutely non-stop world of global cricket. The date is June 5th, 2026. And honestly, the sheer scale of the sport right now is just something else. We aren't just looking at a single match or a standalone tournament today. No, we're looking at a living, breathing, global ecosystem that literally never sleeps. If you've ever wondered what a single random Friday looks like across the entire international cricketing landscape, well, you're in exactly the right place, because the sun quite literally never sets on this sport.
So you might be wondering exactly how much cricket is actually being played around the globe on a single Friday. It's a great question, right? Because we so often get caught up in our own local time zones, following our favorite domestic teams or checking in on our national squad. But when you pull back the curtain and look at the whole global itinerary for just this one day, the sheer volume of matches happening at the exact same time is staggering. It really puts the immense worldwide footprint of the sport into perspective.
When you start categorizing the chaos, the numbers are just wild. We're talking about over 40 distinct matches happening concurrently all around the world. At the international level, you've got India opening a test match against Afghanistan, England battling New Zealand in a super spicy test chase, and the West Indies facing off against Sri Lanka in an ODI. Move down to the league level, and there are over 15 matches going on, ranging from the T20 Blast in the UK to T20 Mumbai and the MPPL over in India. And then look at the women's tier, over 23 matches. You've got the ACC Women's T20I Premier Cup, featuring developing teams like Japan, Myanmar, and the Philippines, running right alongside the Women's T20 Blast and crucial World Cup warm-ups. It's a literal marathon of athletics. Section 1. Friday night at the Oval. Surrey versus Hampshire in the T20 Blast. To really grasp the intensity of this day, let's zoom right into the Kennington Oval at 6:30 p.m. The breakdown of this specific T20 Blast match is a perfect microcosm of the high-energy cricket happening globally. Looking at the major highlights of the Hampshire innings, it was an absolute batter's paradise out there. We're talking 20 boundaries hit for 4 and 7 massive sixes, compared to just 5 wickets falling. That tells you straight away that Surrey's bowlers were under constant, heavy fire right from ball 1.
Moving to Section 2, the early overs, Albert attacks.
Let's start the clock and track that early momentum. As we all know, when you're setting a total, the power play completely dictates the psychological flow of the game, and Toby Albert was in the driver's seat for this one. Starting in the 4th over at 3.2, Reece Topley gets hit for 4, and that just sparks this massive boundary search. By 4.5, Jordan Clark gets brought into the attack and is immediately dispatched to the ropes. Right at the end of the power play, exactly 6.0 overs in, Sean Abbott gets the exact same treatment. Albert is just systematically dismantling Surrey's premium pace attack, setting up a phenomenal platform before Will Jacks finally manages to break through in the 9th over. The crucial takeaway here, Albert sets the table perfectly. He put up a really solid 39 runs off just 32 balls, laced with 6 boundaries. In the context of a high-scoring T20 match, you absolutely need someone out there to absorb that new ball pressure, rotate the strike, and punish the bad deliveries. This stat line is pretty much the textbook definition of an opening anchor role. He did exactly what Hampshire needed to get things rolling.
All right, Section 3, the middle overs, the pushback.
Now, as we move into the middle overs, this is usually the point where spinners step in, try to choke the run rate, and take back control, right? Well, Hampshire had a completely different script in mind. Just compare Albert's steady opening foundation with the absolute dynamite that Hilton Cartwright brought to the crease. While Albert scored his 39 off 32 to stabilize things early on, Cartwright comes in acting as the ultimate middle overs enforcer. The guy smashes 40 runs in almost half the balls, 17 deliveries. That kind of brutal strike rate just completely neutralizes any attempt Surrey makes to slow the game down. The tension builds so fast through these middle frames. Just after Albert falls, Will Jacks strikes again at 8.3 to remove Ollie Orr. At this point, Surrey definitely thinks they've found an opening. But Cartwright? He just immediately counters, launching a massive 6 off Jacks at 10.2. The momentum is just wildly swinging back and forth, until Reece Topley, who gets brought back into the attack, strikes a critical blow at 13.1, catching Cartwright out right as he was looking to take the game completely away from them. Which brings us to Section 4, the final fireworks, late inning drama. Heading into the death overs, the tension is through the roof. This is where T20 matches are won and lost, folks. Weatherly, alongside Tristan Stubbs, decides it's time to just go for broke, and Weatherly puts on an absolute clinic. He's finding the ropes over and over again, in the 13th over, the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th. He totally refuses to let the run rate drop after Cartwright's dismissal, stepping seamlessly into that aggressor role and compiling a rapid-fire 43 of just 26 balls. And the final sprint, it's absolute chaos. Topley grabs the crucial wicket of Weatherly at 17.4. Then Tom Curran strikes at 18.4, taking out Liam Dawson. Surrey's death bowlers are fighting tooth and nail out there to limit the damage, but Hampshire's lower order simply will not quit. Jay Fuller steps up in the 20th over, hitting Sean Abbott for 4, then a massive 6 at 19.2, then another 4, and then Tristan Stubbs gets on strike for the final deliveries. That number 20 right there marks the final delivery of the innings, which was sent soaring over the boundary by Tristan Stubbs for a dramatic exclamation point 6 off Sean Abbott. It's just the perfect capstone to an innings completely defined by aggressive, relentless boundary hitting from Hampshire. It left the crowd at the Kennington Oval absolutely buzzing. But remember, this massive explosion of action, it's just one tiny fraction of what's happening globally today. Section 5. Around the cricket world. Latest global headlines. So let's zoom back out from the Oval, catch our breath for a second, and look at the headlines dominating the rest of the globe right now. Because while London was providing fireworks on the pitch, the off-field news cycle is just as relentless. You've got England edging ahead in a really spicy test match against New Zealand, chasing 254. You've got Emilio Gay describing his highly eventful day as a whirlwind. We're seeing Sri Lanka looking straight to the future by drafting uncapped Chetana Vimukthi, while Gambhir manages the super delicate balancing act of leading a team in transition. There are also heavy administrative discussions happening, with Paibies publicly placing the onus on the ICC to secure more test match opportunities for Afghanistan. And honestly, perhaps the most fascinating bit of news, we have Ashwin making headlines claiming his mind operates like AI, drawing these really curious connections to Silicon Valley. I mean, the sport is moving incredibly fast, constantly intersecting with technology, global politics, and major generational shifts. Which leaves us with a massive question to ponder at the end of this explainer. When you look at the sheer volume of cricket being played in a single 24-hour window, the incredible physical demands placed on these athletes, and now players viewing their own analytical skills through the lens of artificial intelligence, what exactly does the future hold for this incredible sport? If this is just a random Friday in 2026, what in the world will the game look like by 2030? Thanks for diving into the stats with me today, and as always, keep your eye on the pitch.